Hey, what's going on, guys? You got the Video Game Voter here with a brand new episode. So, I know in the previous two episodes, part of a mini-series that I said I thought it was going to be a 4-part series. It was actually a 3-part series that I did when I took a trip to Pennsylvania to visit a chain of stores called Just Press Play Video Games. So it was about 4 locations, all within like 30 minutes of each other in different directions, where I took a trip out and I visited each of the stores. But unfortunately, somewhere along the line, some of the content got lost. So I do have some footage that I'm going to recycle from one of the locations. They all look very, very similar. Not the same, obviously. So I apologize to y'all for that. But needless to say, I'm just going to give you guys just some information on the store. So like I said, they're located in Pennsylvania, which is about an hour, a little over an hour away from here in Baltimore, where I'm at, about an hour and 20 minutes. From what I've seen, each location is very well stocked, very clean kept. The staff there was very friendly. As far as the Nintendo Switch game, it's like a lot of places you don't see that has a very nice stock of Nintendo Switch games. And each of these stores, each of these locations had an amazing stock of Nintendo Switch games, and they just had a lot to offer. I did take some trades up there. I traded actually one of my arcade one-ups. It was the Final Fight cab. So that was part of what my trades. I think I took my Pandora's Box arcade board, stick game, whatever you want to call it, but it was my Pandora's Box arcade. I did trade that. But I believe those were the 2 main things that I traded. You know, I was trying to do my best to try to narrow down this Nintendo Wii library and basically spend as less money out of pocket as possible. And sometimes it takes, you know, the thrift stores here in this area, they suck. You don't find anything here on the regular. You may get lucky a few times here and there, but we are pretty much relying on, I try not to use online a lot, like eBay and Mercari and stuff like that, Facebook Marketplace, but for the most part, I think at some point, us collectors, we do have to utilize the internet. But other than that, we have to kind of travel. At least for my area in Maryland, we got to kind of travel out to utilize our retro game stores in the area. So that's why I'm very just appreciative of the stores that we do have. You know, they always, you know, pretty much come in the clutch, trying to build relationships, even the ones further out, just like Just Press Play games. But needless to say, like I said, as you know, I'm showing you some of the footage of one of the locations. Again, I apologize. I don't know what happened to that footage, but they all are relatively the same as far as the look. Of course, each store had a little bit different stock there and different games to offer, but needless to say, we did pick up some games. So let's get into that. I always get super excited, especially with me being so close to completing this set. The excitement is just raising each and every time. I just love finding games that I haven't found, being this close to completing the set. But let's get started. First, we have Busy Scissors. All right, now Busy Scissors, this is like a weird game, kind of. I mean, obviously it's not for me, but it's pretty much centered around you running or working at a salon. You have to pretty much create your profile. You have your client book, you have your appointments, you are shampooing your client's hair, you are doing haircuts, hairstyles, and all that to basically earn points. Obviously, you know, the higher points and the happier your clients is, the better you do for the game. And this game actually reminded me of something that I saw at Super Magfest, and apparently it's pretty popular around the globe. It's an independent arcade that was created. I have to do some research on it, but I know that the game is called, I believe it's called Don't Touch My Hair, and it's in this huge arcade cab. I was at Super Magfest and I recorded Asset High playing this game. It was pretty cool, and from what I hear, it's a very, very popular game. And they basically they put a TV, it's like a homemade arcade cab, and they had the Xbox One Connect camera fixated like at the top of the cab, and you have to use your motions to bat people away from touching your hair. It's pretty hilarious, but it actually seems pretty cool, pretty fun. Utilizing the Connect, again, from what I see and from what I hear, it's actually pretty popular, and I'd imagine it's probably going to be in some of your arcades soon. So be able to look out for that. You know, I know it's weird to see some of these games that I gotta collect, but it's part of the series. Next, we have
Chicken Riot.
Now, Chicken Riot is actually a fun on-rail shooter that takes place on a farm. To keep it simplistic, it pretty much reminds you of the earlier light gun games like Duck Hunt and stuff like that. That's pretty much along those lines of that, and it's in that same vein. And the Wii is home to a lot of on-rail shooters where they took advantage of the Wii remote and the Wii motion controls, and they utilized those. And they also had like the little interactive controllers that you could put the Wii remote in and actually, you know, utilize the sensors and kind of use it as a light gun. And they also have like different light gun attachments that you can use. And you know, I know a lot of these games are shovelware, pretty much corny, but corny sometimes means fun. So some of these games that are shovelware and worth nothing in value can bring you countless amounts of joy and time with the family and friends and just having fun and enjoying the game.
Up next, we have, you saw on the Virginia trip, we saw one of these, and this completed this series. This is Rita Rabbit Kindergarten.
Now, I believe it's 3 in this series. I believe it's pre-K, kindergarten, and it's like 1st and 2nd grade, maybe like 4 or 5. I can't remember, but a couple of these games actually they range anywhere from $20 and up. I believe the most expensive one I had to buy was like $40, which is insane. So they're pretty much educational games to teach at whatever grade level, obviously on there. So this one in particular is for like kindergarten level or preparing your child for kindergarten. So they made some educational games. Not sure if they use these in school or not, but you know, it's definitely there to help with the development of children. You probably still could utilize them to this day. So if you're a parent and you got kids, get ready to go to kindergarten or 2nd grade, you want to teach them to read and stuff like that, go ahead and pick up Rita Rabbit. It's definitely some of those games, they're pretty uncommon. You know, you don't see them a lot out in the wild. So if you are collecting the Wii, definitely pick these up when you see them, especially if you get them at thrift store or garage sale, whatever the case may be, for a pretty decent price.
I believe it's 3 of these games on the Wii. Pick that up. Kind of pricey a little bit. Up next, we have Scarface, The World Is Yours,
which is an action adventure game. It's loosely based on the film Scarface, starring Al Pacino, which is like a cult classic, but the game doesn't follow the storyline of the movie. The movie's like, I think it was like 2-3 hours long movie, but still a good movie. So it doesn't follow that. It actually serves as a sequel where Tony Montana actually survives and he goes about continuing on his life of crime. And this game came out originally in 2006, I believe, on the PS2 and the original Xbox. But this version on the Wii is actually a graphically enhanced copy. So it's probably the better of the games, which actually makes sense when you think about it, because this is kind of one of the, I would say, expensive titles. This game starts at around $40, so that's kind of pricey. But seeing as it's kind of the more enhanced version, kind of makes sense as far as the pricing is concerned. This isn't a game that at least I didn't commonly see like that. It was very seldom that I saw this game out in the wild. So, and it actually looks like it could be a lot of fun. So I'm actually looking forward to putting some time into this game just to play as Tony Montana. Who knows how great it could be, but you know, this could definitely be one of those hidden gems. So be on the lookout when I finish this collection, when I start to kind of play through, at least put some time into each game and start to break the series down into, you know, what games are what. This may be on that hidden gem list. Keep an eye out.
Up next, we have Phantom Brave, We Meet Again.
Now, the original Phantom Brave came out and was released on the PS2 back in 2004, but Phantom Brave, We Meet Again is actually a expanded remake that came out in 2009, and it includes as I showed you there, it includes a additional DVD that has official artwork and animated and non-animated sprites. They also released a port over on the PSP as well that had a couple other features added to the game, and they actually had a different name for the PSP one, which is Phantom Brave, the Bermuda Triangle. Features added like puzzle hunts and stuff like that, but they kind of just added on to the game to, you know, make it a little bit different because it came out on these different platforms to kind of identify and so you can actually notice the difference. This is actually appears to be a pretty good game and something that piques my interest. I really want to get into some backlog, and this is one of the games that's on my list that I definitely want to check out. Game ranges from about 22 and up, somewhere around there, depending on if you got the additional disc and also just the condition overall. So if you see this out in the wild and you collect it for the Wii, this is definitely something, not just that if you were going for a complete set you would want, but also something you would want to actually play. Just Press Play Games, if you are ever visiting the Pennsylvania area, I highly recommend them. Great group of associates at each location. They were all helpful. They all directed me to the next location, helped me with directions and stuff like that, made it easier for my route back home here in Maryland, and also just were very helpful in helping me locate some of these games that I needed. And it brought me great joy to spend the day out game hunting in a different state. What made it even better that I was able to visit each location and I was able to add another game and be that much closer to completing the set. Like, the closer you get to completing a set, and you know, a lot of times when you are going for a complete set, you start to see like things start to dwindle down. You don't start to see games as often. So when I got really excited when I was going to these stores when I at least seen one game that I didn't have yet. So that definitely just made me feel good. But I can't wait to go back out there and revisit that store. So again, Just Press Play in Pennsylvania. Again, there's like 4 locations out there. Make sure you go check them out. Each one has a little bit different, and a lot more. Each store has different games and different things to offer, so it would be worth your while, especially with them only being 30 minutes or less apart. Probably worth your while you're up there in that area and you visit one, you probably should visit the other one. So just keep that in mind. If you ever visit Pennsylvania and you want to check out Just Press Play, make sure you go to all the locations and support them.
Thank you for watching. Follow me on all social media platforms at VideoGameVotary.